Alright, listen up. You think power is just for the suits and skyscrapers? The guys with the fancy titles in the corner offices? That's what they want you to think. But let me tell you something, the real game of power, the one that actually matters, is played right here, in your head. It's about controlling your own life, your own moves, not being a pawn in someone else's chess game. Forget the corporate ladder, we're building our own empire, brick by psychological brick. See, everyone's trying to control something. Your boss wants to control your time. Ads want to control your wallet. Even your friends, they try to control what you think. And most people? They just let it happen. They drift through life getting pushed and pulled, wondering why they're always ending up in places they don't want to be. They're playing checkers while the real players are playing for chess. The secret isn't about pushing back harder, it's about understanding the game so you can write your own rules. This ain't about being a tough guy. Tough guys get taken out. This is about being a smart guy. It's about knowing what makes people tick, what they want, what they're afraid of. And most importantly, it's about knowing yourself better than anyone else knows you. That's your fortress. When you understand the psychology behind why people do what they do, you stop reacting and you start anticipating. You see the moves before they're made. That's real power. It's quiet, it's invisible, and it's unshakable. Think about the most successful people you know, the real CEOs of their own lives. They're not just working hard, they're working smart. They understand leverage. They know that your own mind can be your greatest asset or your worst enemy. Most people let their emotions run the show. They get angry, they get scared, they get impulsive. And every time they do, they give away a piece of their power. A CEO, a real boss, stays cool. They observe, they analyze, and they act with a purpose. They don't get played by their own feelings. Let's break it down. Step 1 is self-awareness. You gotta take a hard look in the mirror. What are your weaknesses? What triggers you? Be brutally honest. If someone calling you a name makes you fly off the handle, guess what? You just handed them the remote control to your emotions. You need to know your own buttons so nobody else can push them. Write it down if you have to. I get angry when, I get insecure when, acknowledge it. Stare it in the face. That's the first step to taking its power away. Once you know yourself, you start observing others. Don't just listen to what people say, watch what they do. Actions don't lie, people will tell you all sorts of stories. But their behavior tells you the truth. What do they really want? What are their insecurities? It's not about exploiting them, it's about understanding the map of the world you're operating in. If you know your supplier is motivated by looking good in front of his boss, you frame your request in a way that helps him do that. You're not manipulating, you're aligning interests. It's a win-win. And here's a little something for you. If you're finding this useful, if the light bulb is starting to flicker on, do me a favor. Hit that like button. It tells me you're ready to stop being a spectator and start being a player. Go on. Give it a tap. Let's keep this thing moving. Now, let's talk about framing. The way you present something is everything. You can call it a problem or you can call it a challenge. You can see a failure or you can see a learning opportunity. This isn't just fluffy positive thinking. It's about controlling the narrative, both for yourself and for others. When you control the frame, you control the conversation. You control the emotional response. If you're pitching an idea and you start with all the risks, you've already lost. You start with the vision, the opportunity. You frame it as an exciting journey, not a dangerous gamble. This applies to your own life every single day. Woke up late? You can frame it as I'm a mess. My day is ruined. Or you can frame it as alright, time for maximum efficiency mode. Let's see how much I can get done. Which one do you think is going to lead to a better outcome? The situation is the same, but the power is in the frame. You're the director of your own movie. You decide what the story is. Another key, learn to be comfortable with silence. People are terrified of silence. They rush to fill it with nonsense, and when they do, they often reveal more than they intended. In a negotiation, in an argument, in a simple conversation, try this. Ask a question, and then just shut up. Let the other person talk. Let the silence hang there. It's a psychological pressure cooker. They'll feel the need to fill it, and you just sit back and collect information. The one who talks less often learns more. Power isn't always loud. Sometimes, it's completely silent. Let's talk about your circle. The people you surround yourself with are either charging your battery or draining it. There's no in between. Look at your 5 closest friends. Are they ambitious? Are they smart? Do they challenge you, or do they just want to complain and drag you down to their level? You're the CEO of your life, Inc. Would you keep employees on the payroll who constantly sabotage the company? Of course not. So why do you keep people in your life who sabotage your growth? It might be tough, but you have to be willing to audit your circle and make cuts where necessary. Your future depends on it. This isn't about being a cold, calculating machine. It's about being effective. It's about protecting your energy and your focus for the things that actually matter. You have a finite amount of time and energy every day. Are you spending it on pointless arguments on the internet? On people who don't respect you? Or are you investing it in yourself, in your skills, in your goals? A CEO tracks every dollar. You need to track every minute of your attention. It's your most valuable currency. Remember, the goal is control over your own life. Your destiny. It's not about controlling other people for the sake of it. That's amateur hour. That's for insecure people. The real power is when people choose to follow you, choose to work with you, choose to listen to you, because they respect you and they see the value you bring. That kind of influence is earned, not taken. And it starts with having complete and total control over the one person you can truly command, yourself. So, the next time you feel like things are out of your control, take a step back. What frame are you using? Who is in your ear? Are you reacting emotionally? Ask yourself, what would the CEO of my life do right now? Then act accordingly. Don't be a character in someone else's story. Be the author of your own. Now, we've only scratched the surface here. There's a whole world of psychological tactics and strategies that separate the bosses from the workers. If you want to dive deeper, and I mean really get into the nuts and bolts of how to build your empire, subscribe to the channel. I'm dropping knowledge like this all the time, and you don't want to be the one left playing catch up. Watch the next video popping up on your screen. It's the logical next step in your training. Don't just watch it, study it. I'll see you there.